Empress for a minute or so.
Empress Trisha is here with us. Empress Dion, I'm giving you back co-host. This is you up there. All right. All right, we're live.
Give thanks, Rastafari. Royal Empress, you can kick off with some music. Yeah.
Comment to my lawn.
Along with sweet card and dust surround your throne. We are mad.
Close your WhatsApp, Honorable Empress, please. Honorable Empress Dion, can close your WhatsApp.
Zion, we are marching upward to Zion, the beautiful city.
Yes, family.
Us Babylon say. Beautiful Zion, we are marching upward to Zion, the beautiful city of King Selassie, Jah, Rastafari. We are marching home to Zion. We are marching home to Zion. For we fear not what does Babylon say. What they say we are. For we live to fight for Jah Rastafari and to set Ethiopia free. We are blood and fire warriors. We are marching home to Zion. We are marching home to Zion. We are marching home to Zion. For we cannot, what does Babylon say? What they say we are. For we live to fight for Jah Rastafari and to set Ethiopia free. We are blood and fire warriors. We are marching home to Zion.
Yes, Empress. Give thanks. Yeah. Yeah, we can't wait any longer. Let us kick off the ship. Let us sail. Calling for a virtual reverence in the courts of High Majesty. Most High, Holy Emmanuel, I Selassie, I Rastafari. Yeah, we do give thanks for this another meeting, gathering of the Council of Elders. We are calling to order the gathering. All protocols observed. Glory be unto our Father, unto the Son, unto the Holy One of creation. As Jah was in the beginning, is now, and ever shall be. Jah world without end. Jehovah, Jah, Rastafari. Behold how good and how pleasant it is for I and I, brethren and sisters, to dwell together in love and unity. It's like that precious oil that is poured upon the head, that runneth down to the beard, even Aaron's beard that went down to the skirt of his garment. It's like the dew that descended upon the mountain of Zion. For there our Lord commanded his blessing, even life and love forevermore. So we hail our God Selassie, Jehovah God, Jarastafari. Great and powerful God, Jarastafari, is the Almighty God. Jah who sits in Zion and reigns in the hearts of all flesh. O thou most high eternal Father, Jehovah God, Rastafari. Hear us and bless us, O Lord. Keep us and sanctify us all. Cause thy holy face to shine upon us, thy children, that we shall be saved and redeemed. O thou most high God, Jah Rastafari. Come into our midst, O Father, and sit with us. Enlighten us, guide us, direct us in the path of light through thy mercy and thy love. Most High, Holy Emmanuel, I, Selassie, I, Jah, Rastafari.
Rastafari.
Calling upon the Honorable Chair is now here, so I will turn the floor over to the Royal Chair for his welcoming and his comments. Honorable Chair.
Majesty bless, my Lord and Empress, to give thanks for another day of reasoning. Give thanks for the life and the life giver. Give thanks for the Father of us all, the Black Christ, Holy Emmanuel, I, Selassie, I, Jah,
Jah,
Rastafari.
Rastafari.
Looking forward to a healthy and informative reasoning this day, comforting and soothing with a healing balm. Even my blessed Father's Day to all royal, fathers of life. Give thanks, my Lord and Empress, for your contributions towards your royal family. Even though some of us know they get big, so we by ourselves, but the record speaks for itself. So a heart of love to each and everyone.
Greetings, peace, and joy, my Lord.
Blessed love, Empress. You can go on with the a royal choir, Empress, a royal chorus.
Yes, Majesty, we can when you say we must do it.
Oh, well, go right ahead, Honorable Empress Maisie.
All right, Majesty. So what is our course? Our leader said we must all unite.
Yes, perfect.
Yes, my Lord. Blessed love to one another. You want to say something?
Your Majesty, give thanks.
Royal Priest.
Priest Aitafa, my Lord.
Yes.
Rastafari.
Bobo Tapa, heart of love to the man, my Lord. Royal healing balm. Yes, my Lord.
Thanks to the royal family,
My Lord. I mean, man. Glorify.
Sovereign nation, well people.
My Lord.
Majesty.
Yes, Honorable Priest, we'll get into the chorus.
Yes,
now.
Majesty. So as we are here with Mama Miriam, Honorable Priest, Priest Aitafa, Priest Daniel, so you don't know, four of us.
Chorus.
Royal family.
Majesty
We are
bless.
here.
Seven
We are
Star
here
General.
yeah, man, we are here in great anticipation to hear the royal chorus.
Yes, sir. Yes.
All right, Honorable Priest Lasnavana, give thanks and happy Father's Day to all fathers on the platform
Rastafari.
today.
My Lord.
My Lord, glorify. Our leader say we must walk for the day shall surely come when the strong shall be weak and the weak shall be strong, praising God forevermore. For the day of redemption, heaven come away from your sleep and stand like a light under the banner of the red. The country which is carrying the children home. One God, one destiny, we shall surely reach our goal. In our Father's we must serve God, praising God forever. For the day of redemption, never turn from your sleep and stand like a man. Fight on through the banner of the rainbow country, which is carrying the children home. Oh, me now. Holy Mount Zion, 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 Holy Mount Zion, Zion.
Celestial.
Yeah. Rastafari.
Rastafari. One God, one aim, one destiny. Give thanks to the Father of all, Fatherhood of Most High. Celestial.
Yay.
Rastafari.
Rastafari.
Father, still to each and every one, all fathers of creation. Holy Father, I am.
Selassie. Jah. Rastafari.
One me, one body. One in open doctrine, one in charity. Celestia.
Yeah.
I can love and bless my family. Bless you.
Yeah, man.
Majesty bless, my Lord and Empress. Give thanks for such royal chorus and serenading and, fellowshipping with our beloved brethren and every priest I tapa. Say enough run up and down me and I do together in North America. Woolly power up and down, and we always bringing them under the banner of the red, gold, and green, and red, black, and green. My Lord, Majesty.
Thanks.
And we continue with our agenda for today. Honorable Priest Lamont is not here with us, so we would call upon Honorable Priest Snappy to give us a welcoming word, my lord.
Yes, greetings, family. Give thanks once more. First of all, give thanks to Honorable Priest Itafa, they're amongst the fool. My Lord, we wish the eye the best, my Lord. And we give thanks to the family that surround the eye and share the one love, our equal burdens bear, the man say, So give thanks to the eye and look forward to the eye full recover, in a short period of time, my Lord. So give thanks for this day. Give thanks to all of the families goings as we join together, reason one to another. Start out all of the things that we need to sort out and set the path up on a straight, an upright path, So give thanks to each and every one as we share thoughts and ideas, to build the kingdom of God. Most guys. Last year.
Rastafari.
Rastafari. Welcome one and all. My Lord and Empress.
Honorable Priest Snappy,
thanks.
give thanks. Majesty bless. And we call on the Honorable Royal Secretary, Honorable Empress Rachel, to give us a roll call for today's reasoning. Blessed.
A blessed of my Lord and Empresses, do give thanks to this
Blessed,
blessed. So continuing with the roll call. Happy Father's Day, Honorable Priest Ainsley.
Majesty bless.
Blessed heart of blessed heart of Sabbath. Blessed heart of Father's Day, Honorable Priest Nappy.
Worthy Royal Empress, glorify and give thanks. You know? Glory.
Blessed love my Blessed heart of Father's Day to the Honorable Rasavana.
Oh, glorify Royal Empress, give thanks, present.
The answer. When you don't answer, we'll go. Don't know about this. What you have an answer?
Honorable Priest Earl, Happy Father's Day.
One perfect love, Mother of Creation.
And we have the Honorable Priest Aitafa, Happy Father's Day.
Oh,
And
give
blessed
thanks,
love, my
Royal
Lord.
Empress.
And we have the
Give thanks
Honorable
for the
Priest
Father and Mother of
Aitafa,
creation.
Happy Father's Day, my Lord.
Give thanks.
Blessed love, my Lord. A happy Father's Day to the Honorable Priest Knuckles.
Father and Mother.
Not one
You not here?
thanks.
Okay, sorry.
No.
Priest Daniel.
Honorable Priest
Daniel.
Aswad, Happy
And
Father's
Priest
Day.
Daniel. Priest Daniel is also there.
The Honorable Priest
Royal.
Daniel.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
beloved mother, give thanks to the blessing, more love.
Honorable Priest Daniel, Happy Father's Day. Blessed.
Give thanks greatly, beloved.
Blessed love, my Lord. So the Honorable Three royalties on one line.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Give thanks. Honorable
Three
Priest
and-
Aswad, Happy Father's Day.
Blessed love, Empress, give thanks. Give thanks to each and
Blessed
every
love,
one.
my
Happy
Lord.
Mother's Day to you too.
Give thanks, my Lord. Happy Father's Day, Honorable Priest Brown.
Present royal love and we give thanks, my Lord and Empress.
Blessed love, my Lord. And blessed at our Father's Day, Priest, the Honorable Priest Adigan.
Yes, give thanks, Royal Empress, present to the royal family and each and every one. Glorify.
Blessed love, my Lord. And we have the Honorable Priest Lamana. I don't know if I pronounce your name right. Pardon the eye.
Alumni.
Happy Father's Day. Happy
Elamna.
Father's Day, my Lord. Amna.
Alumna.
Alumna.
Alam. Happy Father's Day, my Lord.
Unmute your
Alumna.
mic, Priest. And goodly on the name
Easy.
phone right now.
Easier. Yeah, easier.
Okay. So moving on, blessed happy Father's Day to all the royal fathers. Blessed love, my Lord.
Majesty
Do have a
bless.
blessed day. So
Glorified.
we have Honorable Empress Miriam.
Madam Miriam.
Blessed love, honorable, give thanks, beloved.
Blessed love royalty. We have
Blessed
Honorable Empress Trisha. Blessed love Queen. Honorable Empress Dion.
Blessed love, majesty, and happy.
We have Honorable Empress Akim.
Blessed love, royal
Blessed love
family.
Blessed.
Yes,
Honorable Empress Akim.
Yes, she answered.
Blessed, can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, okay, yes. Blessed love,
And we have the Honorable, blessed love, sweetie, and we have the Honorable Empress Cindy. Give thanks.
Blessed love, my Lord and Empress.
So,
And happy Father's Day.
You don't call your name.
Blessed love, my Lord and Empress.
Majesty.
blessed love royalty. So on the meeting today, we have 12 members so far. And to
Empress
continue,
Rachel,
I
you
would
never
just
call
like
your
to
name.
mention that on our last meeting, which was on Honorable Priest,
You never call your name.
and the Honorable Empress Rachel. Give thanks,
Majesty.
my Lord. So we
Blessed.
have 12, yes, we have 12 of us here today, and I will just continue with our last meeting, which was stated on the 1st of June. We was honoring the woman in Pan-African. So give thanks, my Lord and Empresses. Blessed love.
Majesty, bless Honorable Empress. And we'll call on the Honorable Priest Earl, 7-star General, to give us a word of inspiration for this reason today, my Lord. Honorable Priest Earl.
So threw him out there, my lord. Yeah.
In goodly, yeah.
Yes,
Yes,
Royal
my
family.
Lord and Empress. Yes, we ask for a word of inspiration from the Honorable Priest.
Yes, through the man's love for the key, the golden key, Yes, ever talk about the perfect love, you know what I mean? That means some of the time you can put down your personal thing, and come manifest the God thing, because when you come take care of, your brethren, you know what I mean? Because, this hot water bath, I hope it do miracle with the Empress and the brethren, and even I and I took out the whole away get that blessing and that water bath. I remember the Fatherhood all the while. Say, I and I, we know, we just want to show that simple love there. You know what I mean? Monks or one another, one perfect love, royal family. And no say, man, say we know, man, one perfect love, royal
Honorable Priest, to give thanks. Give thanks, my Lord, for such inspirational words. Majesty bless. And
can I ask Priest Earl a question?
Yeah, go ahead.
Honorable Priest Earl, about found the item there?
Them good. I get some internet business. Yes, my Lord and Empress. When he come on, Priest Adigan, he'll forward that question to him. My Lord.
My Lord.
Hold on, Bridge.
Blessed love to the Royal House. And the roll call, I can't get in and the speaker right away.
Okay.
But happy Father's Day and Mother's Day and Children's Day. Because like I tell people, I couldn't be a father without a woman, and I couldn't be a father without a child.
My Lord. If thanks, Honorable Priest. Majesty bless. So we will continue on our...
Yes, my Lord. Yeah, man, we're coming from bad phone, you know what I mean? So we give thanks.
Yeah, glorify Priest Earl. Am I?
Yes, kind of get a little struggle here today. So we continue. The item I am, my Lord and Empress.
Yes, my Lord.
All right, so we continue. We continue with our program with the Elder Care Program, Honorable Priest Aitafa and Honorable Prophet Clyde. The importance of the Elder Care Program is to ensure that those amongst us who has given their heart and life freely to the Black Christ is provided with the best care possible in their time of ailment. We kindly ask you to assist the council as we continue to keep the sick nourished and age protected. And as we moving on, I just want to put one little thing here. People might know the Honorable Priest Aitafa, but this is a man. He left from New York and he pull up by me in Philadelphia and say, Priest Ainsley, pack a bag, we are going to Miami for service. And I say, but Tafa, me not no money. Yeah, but me not ask you that. All me ask you to do is to pack your bag and come down and 22 hours. We ride in the car when the next man tired, the next driver jump on and go down there, pilgrim's journey to the Royal Church in Miami. And you usually have a glorious time. So these moments could never be forgotten. It's recorded in the Eaters of Life, my Lord and Empress. And I will preside again, glorify the moments, my Lord. Majesty bless. And we continue moving on. Today is a day where we will be highlighting the importance of the love of the fatherhood of God. And we even see a practical experience with the way how the Honorable Priest, Honorable King Emmanuel Charles Edwards, treating all of us like his sons and daughters, like we was out of his own, bloodline. But, he looked at me and tell me when I met him, that Peace Imsy, yeah, man, I've been waiting for the item, man. Because the item come down in this thing here. They never capture the item. The item volunteer and come down to bring back the God in flesh tradition to Israel. So I was sitting down here and wait. That's why I say, if the man never tell me sit, blood would have run like River Jordan. But then say, sit, David, until I make thy enemies I put stool. Holy Emmanuel I, Selassie I, Jah, Rastafari. So we continue this day with the fatherhood of God, my Lord and Empress.
And my Lord, give thanks, and we would like to remind our viewers and our participants to get your books and pencil to write down the wealth of knowledge that is about to flow. And please stay hydrated while we are doing what we are doing in our everyday life. Okay, blessed love. Get our books,
Majesty
get our
bless.
pencils. The moment is to begin.
Rastafari. Give thanks, Honorable Royal Secretary, for such hydrated words. Continue.
So we will pass the floor to Honorable Priest Rasavana
Majesty.
for the introduction.
Blessed love royal family, give thanks. Yeah, before I get into the introduction, I was prompted in listening to the Honorable Priest, I'm the chair, with his opening a while ago. It brought back a memory of a moment spent with the father. We were up at the palace sitting on the veranda with the father reasoning. And father got up, he used his free house, came back, we poured water on his hands, and while he was washing his hands and moving away now back to his comfort zone, he asked a question of I and I who was around him. He asked, how many children I man have? How many children I and I have? So, we are there thinking, and to respond now, the Honorable Priest Stewie said, well, my lad, through the proxy say 140 and 4,000, which is a common sense answer. And the father smiled. So he turned the corner now and disappeared out of our nice sight for a minute. And all of a sudden, we just see a head pop back round the corner, see, and say, yes, but all is mine. All are mine. See, and it was a jovial moment because, he disappeared out of sight and then just popped back him head to Eli and I that all are his. See, so the man said, barring none, all children, all ones belong to him. See, so we are one family, of Christ, Most High, Selassie, Jah, Rastafari.
Rastafari.
Yes, family. As we continue and opening the discussion, the concept of God is conceived by man through inspiration or deductive contemplation. How the Creator is perceived was coined by persons for human reasons. Over time, different groups and ethnicities have either infused their cultural expression to own their version. For example, the creation story has several versions depicting the tribal or regional culture. Yeah, meaning there's variations. In Africa, you have a whole heap of tribe, and you have little different variations of the same concept, is what that was alluding to. Over time, traditions were shaped by formality and adopted institutionally. Whereas in the early days, spirituality was a personal link to the Creator, which every individual possessed. Each person was able to share their personal views on God, sharing a plethora of views. Grounding during ceremonial gatherings helped to establish a universal understanding of the realm of God and the role the Creator plays in human life. Even though there are those who claim special encounters and epiphanies on their journey from which they drew inspiration. For instance, Moses saw a burning bush, according to the allegory. So have other religious writers claimed divine revelations. Regardless of how a person receives their inspiration, their concept was self deducted. And all that means is that, we look at religious texts sometime and we empower them beyond just the message, you know. And a lot of times we don't even look at the message. We look at the individual messenger who is bringing the message, you know. And this is because of the way in which we were taught to conceptualize and to process things. See, we're in ancient time, among our ancient ancestors. It was not about the messenger. It was about the inspiration, because the inspiration is what is going to affect a lot of people when they receive it. The messenger is just one person and is just as all of us are. No matter how great a title we assign to a one because of their works, we all are human, equally, you know, um, privileged with the gift of life, you know. So in what this is saying right here, let's look at the concepts that are brought to us. Let's look at the message that is being shared, and see if we grasp the message and the concept, because that, like I said, is going to affect the collective. There are no humans living over a certain age or who have visited the holy places where humans claim God dwells and return with stories and pictures to establish reality. Religion is based on faith and can only be truly proven in each person individually. Hence the concept of spirituality being personal. Today we will explore the human concept of the fatherhood of God. The journey continues. Back to the chair.
My
Honorable
Lord,
Chair.
Majesty.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Rastafari. Uh, so we continue with our agenda, and we see this headings on the page. But I want you to know that the head of every man is Christ. The head of the woman is man. The head of Christ is God. So we see in a divine lineage, we are not boys and girls, but royal gods and goddesses of the Most High, sons and daughters of the Most High, seeing that the man move in such perfection that he couldn't make nothing less than himself. Yeah? So now we have the opportunity to be like our father and to be like our mother in our acts, our words, our thoughts, and our deeds. My Lord and Majesty. Therein, in embracing the concept of man of right is God in flesh, woman of right is God is said Black Christ, Selassie, Jah, Rastafari. And we continue with the fatherhood of God. Anyone specific to read that?
To the chair, my lord.
Yes, honorable priest.
Just one before we move on.
Yeah.
If the royal text could replace that statement, that first statement, the God is the head. One more, back one more. Yes, this statement that is on the screen. We would like to view this statement a little more in depth for the royal family. It says, "But I want you to know that the head of every man is Christ. The head of the woman is man. The head of Christ is God." How do we interpret that statement, royal family, honorable priests and empresses?
Well, we see in such a statement, we see the Father is the all in all because he's the head of us all. So it's an equality, even though it seems to say, well, the man is the head of the woman and the Christ is the head of the man and the head of Christ is God. As much as it would have seemed like it's a separation, but we see that the head, God is overall. And, the man put us here, man and woman, equal, but different works. For instance, a woman can get pregnant and her belly swell. A man can't go through that. So we yet still need the man to reach that point. So we see the equality, even though we are different in different roles, it is an equality. God is the head of us all. My Lord, Majesty.
To the chair.
Yes, honorable praise.
Majesty. All right. First, the word we have the hieroglyph concept of the cross, and we have the Greek of the Christos, which is where the word Christ develops. So as it relates to English and the meaning of the word Christ, Christ means anointed. So the anointed is the head of I and I, right? Christ means Messiah as well. So the Messiah or the messenger, which the word Messiah comes, where the word Messiah correlates with messenger. So the message of the Godhead is the head of I and I, the spirit of the Godhead in the Christ. So sometimes we see words and we do not know the interpretation of the words. That's what we have to look at. What Christ and God called. Check the last part, The first part says Christ, and you see, because we keep dealing with the individualism of the word Christ. A person, i.e., Jesus Christ of Nazareth, right? Even when we sing our songs, when Christ was here with us, we have done him the very same. We were supposed to say when Jesus Christ or when Jesus Christ to identify that individual. So sometimes we look on Christ as this one person. So how I see it now, we must look at the duality as priest Imley spoke of the Christ, meaning that man is Christ and woman is Christ. So if I can use the term Moses Christ, Joshua Christ, Aaron Christ, Melchizedek Christ, Mary Christ, Martha Christ. So it's the understanding of the word Christ, because a lot of us don't know Greek, a lot of us don't know Hebrew, a lot of us don't know Aramaic, right? And not Amharic, Aramaic, and a lot of us don't know Amharic also, and a lot of us don't know what's the word called? Des. So language is a factor as well, and knowing the meaning of the origins of the words we use in order to convey the right understanding of the word Christ and how
Give
it is.
thanks, my Lord, give thanks.
Yes, sir.
Beautiful definition. Give thanks.
Empress Trisha, you were saying through the chair?
No, it was I, my Lord.
Okay. Yes.
I just give thanks to Priest Aragon definition.
Yes.
And if we could just have the discussion at the end of the reading, please.
Okay.
But we just want to read some information and then we will get into the delve of I know you have a wealth of knowledge to share, my Lord, but let's just get through the program first and then all sharing. My Lord and Empress, get your pencils and your books, information. Yeah, here it has already begun. Blessed love, the fatherhood of God. Honorable Priest Amsley.
Majesty bless. The fatherhood of God, a concept deeply rooted in various religions and cultures, is often reflected in the roles and responsibilities of fathers in human society. This reflection highlights God's attributes of creation, provision, leadership, and love, mirrored in the care and guidance that fathers provide for their family. So we see the Father manifest a Christ love, said we, moving through. Continuing, elaboration, creation, and procreation. God is seen as the ultimate creator and progenitor and human fathers through procreation. I will read it again. God is seen as the ultimate creator.
Hold on, my lad. Sorry, my lad. And that word is progenitor.
Progenitor. Give thanks. Give thanks on our priest. God is seen as the ultimate creator and progenitor, and human fathers, through procreation, participate in the creation of new life, mirroring God's creative power. Selassie, yeah, Rastafari. Provision and support. God is often depicted as a provider, and fathers, as family heads, are expected to provide for their families' physical, emotional, and spiritual needs, reflecting God's role as a caregiver. Leadership and guidance. God leads and guides the universe, and fathers are expected to lead and guide their families, providing direction, wisdom, and discipline, mirroring God's role as a leader. So, as the saying say, as it is above, so it is below. So, the man require of us to mirror his word, mirror his mindset and sentiment, wherein he's a caregiver for us all. Most High Selassie, Jah Rastafari. Preach Rastafari, I want to pick up the reading now, my lad.
No problem. Love and compassion. God's love is a central theme in religious traditions, and fathers are expected to love their families, showing compassion, care, and reflecting God's loving nature. Example of God's character. The way fathers behave and interact with their families can serve as a tangible example of God's character, allowing children to learn about God's love, guidance, and power through the actions of their fathers. That's all it's speaking to. I and I need to be that good children. It's called parenting. Special role. Fathers are often seen as having a special spiritual role in guiding their families towards God, whether through prior religious teachings or modeling a life of faith. There it speaks to it, modeling a life of faith. Mirroring God's attributes by embodying qualities like love, responsibility, and guidance. Fathers act as a mirror for God's attributes, allowing individuals to understand God's character through the human experience of fatherhood. So in sealing up that segment, we are to be the examples, in our children's eyes. We should be the standard that they measure themselves against, and on which they teach their children. Always referring to grandpa, grandma, those senior figures in their lives who have been that role model and that example. See, when we are able to do that, we'll be able to reconstruct the village, the African village, as we need. African origins of the concept of God. Yeah, we're always using their version of interpretation, or what we were taught. So more time to really get to the, like Chris Adigan was alluding to, understanding the etymology of words. Yeah, well, understanding the etymology of certain traditions and principles, meaning the beginning, the origin, the intent, the purpose. Yeah, we need to go forward to our ancestral, traditions. In African creation stories, the creation of man varies by culture, but a common theme is the involvement of a creator, God, and the use of earthly materials like clay or earth. For instance, the Efi myth from the Congo describes God creating the first human from clay, then covering it with skin and breathing life into it. The Fon, people of West Africa, have their own creation story involving Mawu, the moon goddess, who shapes the earth and possibly other beings. Here is a more detailed look at some specific examples. Epic creation myth. Now here's where they go into the creation stories, and there is a plethora of creation stories in Africa. The Efi people of the Congo believe God, with the help of the moon, molded the first human from clay. God then covered the body with skin and infused it with blood, naming the first human Batsi. Lumba creation story. And the Lumba people are a Bantu um, group in the southern region of the continent. In Lumba myths, man is
Chairman,
considered
I pray thee. Is the pronunciation Lumba or Luba? Or Luba?
Luba, sorry, Luba.
Bless it.
In Luba's myths, man is considered the firstborn, created before the sun and moon, alongside heaven and earth. The Fun People's story involves the creator. Repeat, the Fun People's story involves the creator god Mawu or Mawulisa, a combined sun and moon deity, shaping the earth and possibly other beings. Some versions feature Nana Buluku, the ultimate creator, who gave birth to Mawu and Lisa. Fulani creation myth. The Fulani people of Nigeria tells of Dundari, the creator, who uses the five elements, stone, iron, fire, water, and air, to shape man, but also creates other forces like blindness, sleep, worry, and death to test humanity. In many African cultures, God is conceived as a supreme being, a powerful creator, and often referred to as the Father in a way that reflects the relationship between a biological father and his children. This conception is not merely a linguistic translation, but a way of understanding God's role as a provider, protector, and guide for humanity. Here is more detailed look at the African concept of God's fatherhood. Key aspects of God's fatherhood in African thought: paternal authority and responsibility. God is seen as having ultimate authority and responsibility for the creation and well being of the world. This is similar to how a father is seen as the head of the household, responsible for the family's needs and well being. Perfection and guidance. God is understood as a protector who guides and supports his people, offering them wisdom and direction. This is analogous to a father who guides and protects his children, helping them to navigate challenges and make sound decisions. Divine providence. Our divine providence. God is often viewed as the ultimate provider, ensuring the sustenance and survival of his creation. This is similar to a father who works to provide for his family's needs. Collective responsibility. In many African societies, the concept of fatherhood extends beyond biological fathers to encompass a broader sense of community and collective responsibility. This means that anyone in the community who cares for and guides the young can be seen as a father figure. Yeah, the old tradition, old school tradition. How the concept of God's fatherhood is expressed, narratives and rituals. Many African traditions feature stories and rituals that reinforce the concept of God as a benevolent and caring father. Songs and prayers. Prayers and songs often express devotion and gratitude to God, acknowledging his role as a father figure. Proverbs and wisdom. Traditional African proverbs and sayings often use the metaphor of a father to convey wisdom and guidance. In essence, the African concept of God's fatherhood is a way of understanding God's role as a powerful and loving creator who cares for and guides his creation, much like a biological father cares for his children. Yes, family, give thanks. Back to the chair.
Majesty bless, my Lord, for them kind of similitude information, but it shows us the divinity of fatherhood, Yet still, a little small thing. At time I see a brother, beat him youth, and me and couple of man sit down there watch him. But the God in him check him away, kind of really deal with you kind of rough. So no one ever say nothing to him. Him look upon and say, so what? I make sure my youth that. And still no one ever say nothing. So after about a half an hour when he calm down, me say, Ruth, me want ask you a question. I say, what? Me say, me not even go into the intricate part. But tell me, how you make the fingernail? Just the fingernail, me want to know how you make it. That you realize him statement, really came out of a kind of an ego thing. Because as much as you use us to procreate, we not make them. Yet still we are procreation. The same way with the creation and everything. Jah created everything, but we are procreators of everything moving through. So continue in closing. Priest Adigan, you'd like to read the closing part there, my lord?
Yes, my Lord. Thanks.
Continue, my lord.
In closing, regardless of all the religious jostling and academic debates on theology, the one pervading factor is that the belief in a God is a logical assumption. being that there is no physical creation in the earth known to man, which is eternal. The only elements that have defied the laws of creation are energy and the process known as change or evolution. My Lord, all things
Continue.
continue. All things constructed of matter made up of atoms decays and cease to exist in its original form. When the carbon is removed, only the energy remains. When the body dies, only the spirit remains. The duty of man is to deduce, that is where free will, repeat, the duty of man is to deduce, that is where free will, the ability to analyze and conceive, is applicable and valuable. Humans have that superior quality as a living organism that no other of nature's creation possesses, to whom much is given, from whom much is required. As gods and goddesses, our duty is not to look out of ourselves for the revelation of,
Outside ourselves.
I think that, okay. My Lord, repeat. As
Yeah.
gods and goddesses, our duty is not to look outside of ourselves for the revelation of the Creator. It is to look within. We were born with innate abilities, using the human faculty collectively to give us access to a vast source of knowledge. And there exist the answers humanity seeks, the answers of existence, life and death. Each person is encoded with a part of information only when together we put each piece of the puzzle will we be able to see Beulah clearly. That is why the least is most precious in God's kingdom. We all possess a pearl, a life-enhancing knowledge. Let's share it together out of love. Most High, Haile Selassie, Jah, Rastafari.
Rastafari. My Lord. Give thanks on every priest Adigan for your reading, you know. And, you know, I just Jah is a mystic God. You see it, Priest Adigan? Or you see what I am saying?
My Lord.
Because Jah just give me there and I sit down and it's like, Jah just put my CDI name come in front of me. Make Priest Adigan read that part there. Because the first way I hear it. And if you look into the context, what the ideas read there, it deal with there even on a personal level within your understanding. And we are going to leave it right there. So he who feels it knows it, my Lord. Blessed love. And a reminder, please keep the arm hydrated in this hot weather. 90, how much percent of its structure is liquid? 90 something percent. So it is very important. You know, we can drink all kind of nice juices and all these things, but nothing does to the body what water does. You know? I tried, and we're not dwelling thinking, but as things come, things just come. A brethren reason with me already, and them say in China, they did this experiment. And just the other day, I see a man on internet doing similar thing. But here what? In China, a man take a glass of water and praise the water or give thanks water for what you are doing to me. I'm about to drink you and I want you to enhance me with you. And a royal salutation to the water. And they say they put it under a real powerful microscope. And they say when they look, it's like they're smiling faces. I just repeat what a man tell me. But when as it come down the line, I see where it kind of makes sense. And they say it has a smiling faces. And then say take this another glass of water and handle it what listen, I drink it, but you don't really like the water, cause you say it and you know pull up my belly a kind of way we don't really check for it. And they say when they look under the microscope of that water, they see some kind of images where you know you could see it's a kind of a evil incentives. So when we say drink water, and we drink it with our love. And God said where we are drink. Only God know the love of God. Some little simple things what God does show his presence. But if you don't have an eye or if you're not looking out, he not come like a thief in the night to those who are looking forward. He come like, oh my Lord, a welcome sight. But to them and those who are not looking, he come like a thief in the night. Holy Emmanuel, Selassie, Rastafari. My Lord.
When you bring up that, then now, it reminds me of what Solomon did with Queen Makeda. Him said, don't trouble nothing in the kingdom. and then in the end now, through the spicy food where you get a Clyde and she cursing, she go touch him pale. And says, suffer to be you wouldn't take me. I want to be with me. For the water, and him say, what more precious thing?
What more precious thing?
Bread and water. And say, all right, suffer it to be whatever it be, please let me drink. My Lord.
My Lord, to give thanks, royal historian. And as we continue, my Lord and Empress, the significance of May 31st, 1994, the transition of King Emmanuel, the Black Rice. It's a subject where Nuff Bobo very skeptical to talk about. I don't know if that cause a lack of understanding or fear or whatever. But just a perfect love cast it out all there. And I do, as all of us do, to believe it's a day of significance. And while we was bringing up this agenda on fatherhood of God, the Honorable 7-Star General bring this to light to say, and what about the 31st? So, we don't like even the Honorable 7-Star General as a man who was there, as a man who carried up the service, great honors. My Lord, you can't give me a word concerning this. Honorable Priest Earl, my Lord. While Priest Earl is getting himself ready with that thing, because they might be having one phone. So Priest Earl, we are waiting. The floor is open, my Lord, as we speaking of the significance of May 31st, 1994. My Lord and Empress, floor is open.
Blessed love, my Lord and Empress.
Majesty bless.
One of the ministering priests on the day, Priest Bandula, my brethren over these sides was there also. You see, and Priest Mogo was one of the priests, I think him did strike the drum 21 times. Now, there was a reasoning that if the goodie in the casket should be brought into the tabernacle, but no, everything was open air up on the top side of the palace. So, the significance of the 31st of May, 1994. Well, because our father, the Right Honorable King Emmanuel Charles Edward T. any Emperor Haile Selassie, Emmanuel and any Emmanuel is Haile Selassie. I saw a lot of us took that alignment that King Emmanuel Charles Edward wasn't going to drop flesh. No, I think I then remember the radio broadcast done by Shanti Tafari when he said on the radio, called a big uproar island wide, not just in Trinidad, when he did the radio broadcast, and he said, we're not going to put down the flesh again, because he put it down 2,000 years ago. And then Shanti Tafari, as once called him, turned around and said, but look, he dropped down dead, like that on the radio. Anyway, because one wasn't really prepared for this transition, what was going to take place, because King Emmanuel was sending us a whole heap of different words and biblical prophecies, which all were showing a movement of an individual. And then we have the feast of the Passover now that as priest Morgan was speaking on the Black Christ Agenda program with Isaac, that once went to pray and the father asked him like, then young goats, young lambs, these kind of things for food what was going to be at the Passover as it relates to the public that would eat meat. And these things, that even animal blood was shedded, and even these foods were prepared at the universal. So even when the brethren them went into country to get these different animal kinds, you know, because they go to the countryman to get unblemished livestock. So when them reach up into these country places, the people start asking if someone make a move, because what them never see the Rastafari brethren come request these food before from them, these livestock, animal. So them start ask if someone make a move. This time the father didn't make the move yet, but the pass over. So what it is, Dada was passing over from the flesh, we know him, into our spiritual realms. So Dada was passing over out of the physical realms into the spiritual realms. So hence the word Passover, where we know the Passover goes back to when it's in Egypt.
Yeah.
My Lord.
Yes. Well,
My
yes, please. Yeah, please, Adigan. Get down for information. Right now, certain things you got to break it down in parts. So you go come again with that because there is a man was there. So, all right. So, yeah, give time. Yes, Honorable Priest Rasavana.
Yeah. The question posed is what
the day was.
Yeah, the 31st. What relevance it have to I and I? What symbolism? What, we can get into the history of it, within a moment. But
yeah,
what does it mean to I and I? And as I open it up and say, there is a fear of discussing it. It's not something that is discussed widely among the membership and support and so on. So we want to get into the symbolism of it. What does it mean? What does it reflect? Why should we recall it?
My Lord. Well, again, me call on the Honorable Seventh Sergeant General as the man who did even suggest the topic to give us an insight from his point of view. Honorable Priest Earl, you can unmute your mic, my lad. Just from your point of view, Honorable Priest, share with us. Your mic mute.
It might be in the sport, but might be a bathhouse with the brethren.
Right, all right. So the floor is open.
The ones that were there,
Priest Brown. Priest Brown.
Yeah. And
Blessed of my Lord.
Yeah. Give your input. Give your input now on that moment. If the eye have any recollection, bless it.
I was not there when that took place, but what me know before this thing here, before it manifests, that I had given hints in various ways to the congregation that he could make a move. So I personally was just set myself to just understand or watch the manifestation and watch how it ever play out. So when I was in when the brethren even come a Clarendon for the thing, then I was in Frankfield. And the brethren never let me know exactly what going down. So I wasn't present for the Passover, not the passing. But but where me get my clearance, and any one of the scholars can check up for me. The book of Set. There's all writings about the book of Set. we said Melchizedek, the high priest, should have to lay down him temple in the ends of the earth for the redemption of the human race, man and womankind. So that is when I came across that particular writing. I clearly understood the significance why Dada did what he did. My Lord and Empress.
My Lord, do give thanks. Well, Honorable my Lord and Empress, I was not there. You know, I get the word from my brethren say, why, check this brethren, and him you know, I think one, but me can't even tell, I don't even know how to tell you. Check this other brethren, you know, and I check the other brethren, and the brethren show me say Jamaica tell, and I say, what? You know, so we was all, you know, the mindset we had really is like, and I will get a next story on that at another time, that, you know, we wasn't going to try to. But the other day, you know, I put on some guidance, and I have a necklace with Emperor Haile Selassie in the picture as a young child. Yeah, all of the items know that young child. And then I have a picture now in I'm elder days. And it just coincidentally me put them two guidance on. And I look at it and say, yes, Jah, give thanks. Because in order for you to be old, you had to be young. You know, so we see that as a natural. Sometimes some of us speak in the way like if Jah decided to give up in flesh for the redemption of mankind. And I really don't see it so. You know, it was a timely because next in my trod in the earth, I come across enough kind of spirituality and enough kind of diverse other people approaching the same subject. And I met up an old Baptist man, and he tell me, say, if a one pass away 3 months before or 3 months after the birthday, that's a timely passing. And we look and we find out, say, the man born the 31st of May, who want to believe it, it's free. But just a seek and he go find. And he make things rich, so we must understand the omnipresence of the universe, the omnipresence of the Almighty God. You know, say, so we found out that he did come on the born 31st of May. He told
No,
me
let's
he
not
was
do that. Let's
born.
not do that. Let's not do that, my lord.
All
Please.
right.
So we're dealing with
Okay.
historical facts here. We're not trying to build no supernatural thing without proof to our family. These are alleged things. These are like allegories, family, like folklores. There is no substantive proof to prove none of these things. So let us just stick within what we can prove at this point, because none of this doesn't make a difference of the man. We love to add these symbolic things and things to the man to try and fluff him up. Our deities need no fluffing. Just look at them at their naturalness, their rawness, and you will see the greatness of them because of their works. Not the titles and not the scriptures and not the endearments. Their works. The man say, if you don't know me, but yeah, check my works. See? Honorable Chair.
My lord. Well, the information I was given wasn't really trying to plop up no one, Honorable Priest. It was just
Nobody
that
come
in my
across a way.
quest.
No, I'm not saying that I personally, but it's a tendency among us to always have the mysticism and the you know, like when we talk about the laying down of the Father the day, once highlight the fact that a gust of wind blew and one make highlights of those things to say, you know, to add a more mystic vibe to it. You know, when we don't need to. We just
All
need.
right. Well, in discussion, we're going to discuss us. Yeah. Okay, my lord. Give thanks. So, as we say, the floor is open. And the question is, what does the 31st of May, what significance it have to the brethren and sisters in our tribe? You must have some sort of an internal way how you digested that information. So we just asking what
Yeah.
significance, my lord.
Yes, all right then, as Russell Honor rightly pointed out, yeah, it does say the
And we,
significance. I went
yeah,
through
and try not to be too lengthy. Try not to be too
I
lengthy,
will try and
my
look
lord.
at the significance 1994, 1st of May, that was the last time our father was with us. So it was a changing in the direction of where the Congress would go, in my point of view, right? Our minds and our direction would be shaped, knowing that our father is not here, gonna be here with us in that personal flesh where we could have go and look direction and guidance and advice from him. So that was the signal, and it bear a significant role that from our father move, the Congress has been in disarray. And the unity what the father did had galvanized amongst I and I has gone. Because since the father make that transition to I, one significant thing I man see is the disunity amongst the family. So it depended on our father so much. When he left us, it's like we didn't know what to do, like a young child lacking of parenting, you understand? So if you talk about individual, the significance it bear for I and I is that I and I became at a loss without the guidance of our father's physical presence being around I. Just to put it in a nutshell,
My
Spain and
lord.
a lot of us lost our way after the father has made his transition to I. That is one of the biggest significant part, that we became disunited, right? Because under the father, what I did realize, no care what brother or sister did have a, what's the word called? Disunity could a difference, right? It was salvaged before the father. We could go before the father and reason it out, and something would come to tuition or come to bump. You understand? But since the father has gone, everyone is saying their way is the best way, fractions, this and that. So the
My
significance for
lord.
us, many of us lost our way, my Lord and
My
Empress.
lord. Give thanks, please. Floor is open. While
Honorable Chair.
my lord.
Yes. Where the goat and the chicken. That's the first time, or they had a time before that? Because I'm sure it come like I remember a document when the Pope was coming, I think to Jamaica. I can't remember it, but to me, it come like King Emmanuel had do a goat and a chicken sacrifice. And if I remember good, if it's a document that I read, I remember he said he has no part with the Pope. So I don't know if anyone know about any sacrifice before that, before the Passover.
Honorable, is it Jacob Hector? Okay. No, my lord, I think that was the first and only time they have been taught where Marsh Auntie from the Nyabingi house said she did observe King Emmanuel Bossa go through it one time, and it becomes strange to I, but that's the only time outside what take place on the hill I hear of anything pertaining to any livestock being sacrificed or cut or anything and blood run. So not to my knowledge, it's the first time on the hill that this did happen to my knowledge, my Lord and Empress.
Blessed God. So the floor is open. You know, it ain't no big study question, you know. There's a freeing up, a article freeing up, as I say, you know, over the years, what the means to I and I. But it all impacted us, and we all probably had different reactions, you know. So, yeah.
My Lord
My
and
lord.
Majesty. Yes, well, for it really make we know, and at least I personally will say, well, let us see who really understood what King Emmanuel was saying when he was here with us, when he was teaching us all these things. Let us see who really understand teachings, because there was many a time that not we went into council with him. And
I remember specifically one of the times, you know, when the man God here standing. So my Lord, from those and I come in, my Lord, those and I shall return. Look up on the man and look up on the rest of the bridge, the man. Really look and wonder if the man them really understand what the man just said to it. But we never look on it in that depth, say, well, When you know. say praise, repeat when say praise, I ain't catch it. From those and I come, you know, from those and I come, those shine I shall return, my Lord. All right. You know, and I clearly understood where he meant, you know, yet still not fully accepting it in the way where I, you know, what it was really originally meant. Yeah, because we still look, say the man I tried to reduce and ship and go home. This is always the mindset, you know? Yes, yeah. But, you know, I'm here, and after that talk, I know, so well, you know, the temple can drop. I didn't really, you know, understand at that time. So the temple can drop. And and I was here in Miami at the time when it happened. And as I said, you know, it was a shock, but it still wasn't nothing where, you know, out of nowhere, like I was dismayed. Because I did understand within our realms that that can happen, even when you never looked at that. But you know, say it can happen. But it also comes to now if the student them know and if them can make the way and do the works where I said we were sitting there and getting these teachings from. You know what I mean? And it's not
My
many
lord.
of us did really get it. We were still looking at that individual to always rectify us to things that are be the start and the end of everything, and you know, and we don't really fully accept the God within ourselves. You know what I mean? So I think at that point, you know, is when it really wake us up and make us know, say, look here, time for work, you know? As the time say, you know, it's time for thee to work all hard, for they have made by thy laws and commandments. So man have to gird up and make sure, say, you know, hey man, take up the work manfully. My Lord.
My Lord, give thanks and ever praise for your clearance. Floor is open. Any other more input?
True. Bless the love again, royal family.
My Lord.
Yeah. Cause even that I left Jamaica 1993 and come forward to England. I never did a plan for go down anytime soon. And it's our Empress, bless her, Honorable Empress Diana said to I, carry your son and him cousin to Jamaica. I left out April 17th. And by May, the father moved. So I never did envision that, but through the vision of our Empress, we go up there, which is significant to I that the time in which she said, I fi go, the father make a move. So I wasn't planning to go to Jamaica at that time. And my Empress tell I fi go. And we save up and we go. I go with I son and him cousin, I son Prince Tekla and him cousin Prince Kaya. And they was there at the time when the father make a move. So the significance for I is that the spirit's moving through, put I in a position that I was not aware, like the I hear from someone. I saw it firsthand. What happened?
Rastafari.
So I man give thanks for the vision of I Empress for tell I if we go to Jamaica, right? And that I was not in the West and hear the news. So while it was sad, I glorified that I was there to see the happenings, because I go show the eye them something to show your people wicked. I was walking down in town one day, and I don't know if one's really know Kingston or it's set, but you have a market that is before the coronation market, and I passed there and I hear a street seller talk. And she have an audience of people around her and she say, And you want to see that, and she spot I, man. And she starts say, and you want to see them bury him in a dovecot. And me stand up there, and me hear I repeat this thing, and me say, woman, thou speak untruth. And she continue, and me raise my voice, and me say, woman, thou speak untruth. The Right Honorable King Emmanuel Charles Edwards was buried on the hill there in Bull Bay, Warwick Hill. So don't tell lies to these people that he was buried in Dovecot. And then she had to bow her head in shame. No, imagine if I never did that. As an eyewitness to correct that. And the masses them.
My Lord.
Would have continued with the lie. So give thanks. That's another significant side that there were some people lied about that part and what really took place. So, my Lord, give thanks for our spiritual meditation that come to I and the significance it means to I and I man being there to full take in such movements at the time without putting any mysticism and spookism on it like Rastavana rightly said, you know? So give thanks, you know?
My Lord, give thanks.
Come back to the point, say many, like you just said precisely, many on I and I have different reactions and different insight, but to I, the main factor of it,
well, we get that.
The main factor of the I man, significance of it is that a lot of us lost our way, my Lord and Empress.
My Lord, bless. And I'm going to address that too coming up, but go ahead and I will priest Rasavana.
No, I want to hear everyone, you know, no, I can speak at any time, my lad, and I speak too much. I want to hear from the family. This is something very significant for I and I to address. It would be nice to hear from everybody's heart what the transition of our father meant to I and I. We are a house of priests, we are a house of Christ. Yeah, we must have a feeling and a sentiment towards this, my lord.
Floor is open, my Lord and Empress.
Royal Chief.
Bless I love my Lord.
Bless I love Empress. Go ahead, Empress. Man, let the Empress go first, then you come in after priest alumni. Go ahead, Empress.
Is that all right, priest alumni? Hold on one, Empress. Let us make sure so the brethren is all right with that. You all right with that, honorable priest?
I was going to say that same way. Go through.
Give them.
My Lord.
Bless I love my bless I love to the chair. Give thanks
Bless I
for the
love.
reason and going forward. Bless I well, I just for me is just well, I came in late, right? My time was late. So for me was for us to do greater works, and from my understanding, he's very mystical, you know. So give thanks, my Lord and Empresses.
Blessed love, Empress. Give thanks.
Priest Alamsa.
For your truth. Yes, honorable priest alumni, my Lord.
Yes, blessed love again. Well, for me, I was in my relation. I was here in my yard here with a church in St. Crazy, and I had a cousin that was living in a trailer house in the same yard. So he come to me and he tell me, hey, the man say, King Emmanuel pass on. And the man refusing to bury. That's a cousin of mine tell me that long before any mobile could even sight. And then I think Priest Eric is who come with the word. But at that time, I was sitting in my little shanty. I had a little shanty in my yard, and I sitting by my window. And I said, well, King Manuel, you make a move, and you ain't get to make me a priest? My lord, Priest Eric come in, and his hand was trembling. And he said, that man is a priest. So he just got to show me King Emmanuel really ain't like dead. You see? Because before I put the church here, I write a letter to the camp, but I never mail it about putting a church. And the church manifests. So I could see the power of King Emmanuel because he could still hear me because he living within I and I. So that's when I get priesthood. When I was saying to myself, to King Emmanuel, I was talking to, by myself.
Yeah.
And I'm coming and I see the man hand trembling. Like it's like the Father just send him, man. Show me
Rastafari.
I am alive and well.
My Lord.
My Lord and
Give thanks, praise for your revelation, and your testimony. The floor is open, my Lord and Empress. And we have other things to talk about too, So, what the item share with us, my Lord.
Chairman, Honorable Chair.
My
President,
Lord.
I would have loved hear from the eye still, even though you wasn't there.
Same.
As the first appointed ambassador to set the Congress through the voice of King Emmanuel in 1981 to set the Congress there in Trinidad. So I would have liked to hear from the eye perspective, regardless of if he was there or not, what significance it bear for the eye as my elder in this time, my Lord and Empress.
Honorable priest. Well, as time goes along, this is something where as time move along, you get a better revelation. But the day I was in Philadelphia, and priest Way linked me and say, priest, I have something to tell you, but I can't even tell you. I don't even know what to say. And I say, what do you mean? And he said, check priest Irel. Because I don't even know what to say. And I check priest Irel. And I say, priest Irel, what go here? Priest Irel have me a reason. What man? But I pick up a vibe. So I say, priest Irel, how you doing? How I'm doing? Because I know him did go through a little affliction with the hip. And I say, how I'm doing? And he said, my Lord, him gone, And it shocked me, but it didn't shock me. Cause I sit down and feel it. Our brethren him Ibo who passed now. And at time Ibo say, so what am I gonna do when the man pass away? And I say, so it was there, to the Rastaman levity order. I have a whole story to say why I did hold it so physically that a righteous man. Nah, I'm dead. I did take it literal. And after certain things, I get to understand what it really means. So it was a shock up, but it was not devastating. Because I start see, how I have to move. And as time go along, the meditation reveal unto me, So the mighty God that reveals himself and him ways in some subtle things when you look in at yourself and you have confidence that the word you get is all right. Because when you examine it and toss it to and fro, it not really hurt no one. It will have more elevate. And I saw me, that man try deal with the information of God as me go along. That's why I did bring up the 31st and me and all them taking this. So, because I see enough other significances with the way how the man move and how it affect us. And one more thing I will say before I take. When you say the Congress went out spiral out order, this is a natural human thing. Anytime you have a group with a charismatic leader and he make a step, that group does always go through a spiral. And it's in that spiral now you have to catch back up, come like a plane losing altitude and just going down until you finally pull it up and get it back up and get it on the currents again running. So that is what we're doing. We pull it up before it crash. And we carrying it up now to get it on the current and continue, symbolically speaking. So that is why it revealed to me, Honorable Priest. My Lord. Honorable, my Lord.
Give thanks, my Lord. Bless it.
Bless. Yes, Honorable Priest Rasavana.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a general, good general statement you make a while ago that it happens, when the chief get killed in battle, the yeah, the others always scatter and run in disarray and so forth.
Say,
But but the difference is now that when there is structure, when there is understanding, when there is
natural,
a team, that doesn't happen. Now, why I
natural.
say this? Why I say this? You have had several popes that have died, and it has not shaken their system in the way that I and I system has been shaken. Because
Rastafari.
while we tend to trivialize it for our own reasons, it is 30 years of tail spinning that we have been going through, trying to get our bearings and get back on track. And 30 years is a lifetime. Okay, generations have been born within that time period. So the reality of it is that religion does a very damaging thing to us as a people, and you will always hear I refer to that. Why? Because it makes you willfully ignorant. What do I mean? You said something, honorable priest chair. You said you were putting on some guidance and you looked and you saw a picture of the emperor being a child and the emperor being elder. So
Yes, my lord.
what do we think when we see pictures of Dada when he was young and when you come know him, he was up in age? It's the same,
Natural.
it's a process, but if we're following what our eyes are showing us, then we would have the understanding. But what we do, we rely on how we were taught to think. That's the process. We were taught to think a certain way. So that is the way that guides us. That's why Marcus, the honorable prophet, said, I and I have to return to looking at things through the Ethiopian spectacle. The Ethiopian spectacle predated slavery, religion, all of those things. See? So the man have to really see with a clear vision. We have to go back to that Ethiopian spectacle. See? We're looking at life from a natural aspect of things. Now I will share
Rastafari.
one more thing before I release the floor. When I reached camp in those early days, in 1972, 73, when I landed in camp. Camp had just recently moved to 10 miles. So the camp was in a building mode. The place was still one wilderness, a desert wilderness filled with cactus and roast pork, maca and things. See, who I saw among the father were a lot of graded elders, a lot of elders. You had the 12 disciples, you had Amos and Humpy, you had Judah, you had a whole Leviathan, Munir, you had a whole lot of ancient man amongst the man. See? They saw the man as a shepherd. They did not see the man the way we saw the man. They were still seeing the humanness of the man. And that is one of the things that we need to discuss and not be afraid to discuss. Those brethren wherein we would say that them disrespect or them in some way made an error in not seeing the Father the way we did or way we do, they saw the Father as a shepherd, but as also as a brethren. Why? Because a lot of them were were walking the journey together from a far distance, experiencing each other's humanity along the way. A lot of I and I, when we came in encounter with Dada, Dada was seated up in his holies of holies, in his heights of heights, because he had reached that stage as an elder. See? So what we saw of Dada now was his divineness. That is all we were able to zone in on. The divine presence of the man. See, that infused with our religious upbringing. Because from you come from the West here, you can't tell me say you were not. brought up in that way and it didn't affect you. If you're telling yourself that, then you are misleading yourself because we all came up under this system of oppression around here, the system of colonialism, the system of religion. See? So that is part of our upbringing that made us look at things a certain way. But if we look back now with hindsight, we say, but yeah, because when I first met John, John never have no grey beard. And over time, Mr. Jah beard get grey up, and over time, you see this and that, to where John not even walk much anymore, and all of these things. You see signs of naturalness taking place. Plus, you see other elders that was walking with the man pass leave the man. You understand? Some was that were even younger than the man. So these are the realities that we have to live with and factor into life and build our life around and take ourselves out of that system that was created for us to trap us, that we cannot elevate to our true God selves as humans because they have us thinking this fatalistic thing. You see, so that is what we are here for as the elders. Walking a certain length of time, you gain experience. You see many things that you thought was so as a youth. You see the results along the way. Seeing. So now you can help to shape the understanding for the younger generation. Not teaching them what to think, but giving them all the information that they can think for themselves, analyze for themselves, and come up with their reality of the moment. Just as we came up with our reality in that moment with the Father before 1994. Blessed love, Father.
My Lord, Majesty, give thanks for clearance. Floor is open,
To
or
the
we
chair.
can Honorable Priest as well, Royal Philosopher.
Give thanks for
My
solid
Lord.
reasoning and some evidence of what we are trying to identify. Father Abraham, the father, who made a transition on the 31st of May. And it's just the beginning because he is the man who set a mystical tradition to give us the understanding nature of God and humanity, relationship with the divine. It involves deep study and contemplation of ancient texts and teachings, focusing on the concept of God hidden aspects of the connection to the world, which is inside of us. Because at that time, when I heard about the man tradition, I was living in Orlando, and some lady came through that night with a baby. I never get to find out who she was, and she told me what happened. She just left the yard. So that's how I got the news. And I couldn't really take it. I was scared to tell anybody I couldn't take it. But we have to see deeper and see farther. We must consider the esoteric meaning of hidden things accessible only through specific study and policies. So we must continue as good fathers doing what we have to do. And what's the example what the man leave for us? Father Abraham was found to develop a teaching method that have us here today, that would help us to reveal the concept of hidden things. In this prototype and teaching method that he called EABIC, it taught us how to cover the force that guide us and how are we doing to receive infinite pleasure. So we must understand our duties, not just to bow too much, but rise up to God's ambition and intention to discover greater details that should be mentioned as the essence of our discovery in the universe. I don't want to go too long, my Lord and Majesty.
I have a priest, my
Give
Lord,
thanks.
Royal Philosopher. Yes, the floor is open, my Lord and Empress. Well, we kind of
Yes.
get yes, go ahead.
And you see, like me say, like I once said, one was looking for the father to come out of one of the harbor one day and I the saints go. So in reality, when it happened, one was shook up car. One was looking for King Emmanuel to live forever, that he wasn't gonna drop the flesh because them align him with the emperor who no one know have a death or a grave. You understand? So that's a big significance in itself that one wasn't looking for it. And when it come, shock to the system. Like one says, it happens with all of the groups, all of the movements. That person, that significant figure moves, the movement does get in disarray. So we're not exclusive to that. But the point is, like he did say, righteous man can't die and all that. And then another thing now, cause one of the next questions what I did see come up now was, so the King Emmanuel keep up with some folly why him drop the flesh? You know, things like that. So, like me say, we have to really look into ourselves that through the ages, yeah, even Kadamawi, Haile Selassie, made preservations for his passing. He set his coffin, he set his this, he set things like that. And Empress Menin's coffin is in one of the churches right now as we speak. So the Empress coffin is in one of the churches as we speak, but he's not in it. But he made preservations in the human understanding of things. We, Baba Shanti, set ourselves exclusive, like we were void of these things, and these things can't reach us, because the whole of we are going to live together. And remember, flesh, flesh did drop flesh, you know, before King Emmanuel. Eda Baba Ashanti, we have Empress Eligita drop flesh, and all of them, in whatever way she dropped flesh, she dropped flesh. So there were people of Baba Ashanti from way back when who dropped flesh long before King Emmanuel. But we draw this exclusiveness that this is the Christ and he dropped the flesh years ago, so it's not gonna happen. And when it happened, it was a shock to his system because we wasn't looking for King Emmanuel to physically pass away.
So
140,
my
even though
yeah.
them seem ill and I get frail, I get sicker, and all of these things, ones were still looking for him to do miraculous and great things, even in that weak flesh as we seen it. All right, I'm going to give you an example now. My
But yeah,
brethren,
but go on. We
all
don't
right,
want to link it.
no, my brethren, priest Bandulai, yeah? Him come to I one day. I didn't know how to take the reasoning, but this was Israelity himself. Looking at King Emmanuel, I feel that flesh I go drop soon. What you think? I couldn't give a conclusive
Same,
reason. I wasn't really looking for it,
same.
but so he come to me and he said, what you think? I never know if he say. No, one day an incident happened on the hill. Priest
My
Morgan
Lord.
and an incident happened on the hill. And Priest Bandula made an outburst. This is after Dada passed and said, 7 years ago, I knew Sekimani was going to drop the flesh. And now it happened the whole on the dumb stroke. But he didn't say it. He only shared that reason with I personally. He wouldn't share it with the collective because of how the collective speak. Me and him had an understanding so he could tell I. And I never tell the collective of his thoughts, but him did go through a judgment now, and he was a go through some
Yeah.
calamity. Him just
Yeah,
All
met
man.
the
right. We get it.
seven,
We
seven
get the
years ago.
gist. We
So
get the
what I
gist.
told you, sir, I had a brethren amongst I who did see something where he didn't want to come to the collective, right? Because of how the collective was thinking. But he seen that God in him show him say King Emmanuel I go drop flesh and him bring it to
All
I.
right.
But
We get the gist. We
yes,
understand the gist. But you know, when we these information now, you have to construct it in a way wherein it will be a strength to the youths coming. So when we listen to everything, what we have to come to, and we come to the understanding that life is a cycle. As how me did say, me had the picture of Emperor Selassie as a child and Emperor Selassie as an elder man. So these are the things we must partake to the youth to say life is a cycle, it's a phase. So take advantage of every phase. because you cannot do what you cannot do when you're 60, what you used to do when you're 20. So we must recognize the phases: a teenager, a young adult, an adult, a mature adult, and set yourself in a way where you pace yourself so that when you reach a senior elder, you even have a substance, you know something, you had some kind of provision. So this is the constructive image I could see that we can show the youths them. Because I have some youths growing up in that meditation now to say, well, like you have to live forever. So you don't really have penetrate. And then boom, 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 next thing is 35 years old and you're really doing nothing. You don't say it. So we must educate the youths them that life is a cycle. Even we must recognize that. My Lord and Empress. What do I them think of that? Because it just come to me and we are reasoning.
Through the chair.
My Lord.
Yeah, man. Honorable chair, beautiful. I applaud the eye sound, my lord. See? And I don't even know if you know how much you just said in that little statement. See? I and I as royal elders, especially I and I who were privileged to walk with the man, to sit with the man, you know, we must be at that stage where we become teachers now, family. See, sharing the wisdom that we gain by meeting the man and studying with the man and living life according to how the man taught I and I. So when we get these opportunities, we must be teaching. And we're not teaching, just as you said, Honorable Priest Anzi, the positiveness. See, yes, we will highlight the history, and the history has to be factual. So it has to have in the dark, the different colors that makes up a picture, because it's not just white or bright colors in our picture. See, so it has to have the spectrum of colors, the darkness as well as the lights and the beauty. But at this stage of our life, we have to look in our community and see the critical situation that is happening and apply ourselves to be the solution. And in doing that right now, the youths them want to hear how this thing are gonna work. Since they hide them the dead and get the sound from the father. How is this thing to work, my lads? See? So it's a positive the youth them want to hear because they are seeing the negative without even us even having to open our mouth. They are seeing the negative. They are experiencing the negative. But as their mentors, we were talking about the fatherhood of God, and in the writing here it said we should be those role models for our children. Well, it's the same thing. Now, as senior members, as elders within our eldership, as elder statesmen, I and I need to be those mentors. You understand? To be sharing the positive construct of our liberty, the positive aspects of our liberty. See? So the younger generation, they can solve some of those other negative things that we were unable to bridge. But yes, I applaud the statement, my lord. We need to be in that mentality as teachers, sharing the glory that we have learned along the way. Yes, family. Give that.
And that subject took up identity, but we know it would have been that. And we know say everyone still ain't come out with what inside of them yet. But as we move along, we see up on the screen, is the nature of God a duality? Repeat the question. Is the nature of God a duality? You have any literature on that now for it to be read?
No, my
this
lord,
is
it's
just
a question.
Oh, it's just a
this is a
provoking
question.
thought. Provoking thought.
Because this goes my lord, it goes along with that first statement that the royal empress had asked to put on the shelf until this time. Wherein, if you could find back that statement, Empress, for the screen, wherein the Christ is the head of the man and the man is the head of the woman.
The woman, right. So
it
yeah,
brings that question to light right here. Family.
yeah.
Now we have
Uh
the right. We have the right to
before
question these.
okay, please, before you say that, I wanted to say something on that. This is not no quiz show or no question and answer show. But we highlight thought provoking questions, for lack of a better word, to stimulate ourselves that we can even have a clear understanding of ourselves. Because the way I just say it, just say, one of we might drop in a village, and the next man to the whole Africa big. And enough questions will be asked, all kind of questions. So if we set ourselves in a way now by asking ourselves all these thought-provoking questions that people might be in themselves and don't want that, it will strengthen us and even make our vision highlighted more in front of us. So it's not a question and answer thing, but it's thought-provoking. It stimulates our thought. It provokes our thought. What do you think? What do you think? Continue on, every priest, my lad.
Yes, Honorable. Well, just to go, feed off of what you just said. We talk about Jerusalem school rule. What do we mean? That's exactly what we mean. Jerusalem schoolroom, being teachers, it's a teaching thing. Don't in learning, part of the whole thing is asking questions. If you don't know about something, how are you going to learn about it? You got to ask questions. See, so questions provoke thought and bring forward answers. See, bring forward opinions, and from the opinions, now you can ascertain the closest to perfect answer. So this is a process, and again, we come back to the fact that our Father teaches us about Jerusalem schoolroom, but He also taught us that we are growing. We are going from lowland to highland. We started with Jerusalem schoolroom. Now, at this time, we should be up to the university level, seeing where we can compare with any of the temples of Luxor, or the monasteries and sanctuaries of Axum, where these level of conversations took place, in theological discussion, in the discussion of spiritual matters. That is what happens. Everyone puts their opinion, questions are asked and answered, and at the end of the day, you come up with the clearest picture of the topic possible by putting all heads together, everybody inputting into the conversation, giving their little understanding or their big understanding. It doesn't matter. No matter how little you think your understanding is, it will plug a gap. It will cause a reasoning to go to the next level. And then the next question will cause it to go until we get a clear picture. See, so right now we are in the University of Axel. See, we graduate, we are moving up from Jerusalem schoolroom and we are in the University of Axel now. You hear the kind of reasoning that ones are able to have, and you hear the kind of information that even the empresses are bringing to the table. See, so I mean, over the last couple of weeks, the empresses have stepped up greatly in inputting information among the family and community. See, which is why I bring it up. It's not a usual thing. We're finally getting the empresses to come up front, to take the lead as the father mandated from them time. See, so we see where we are growing in that field, and we need to maintain that type of meditation where we can discuss any topic of our liberty and dissect it. Seeing we might not be the sharpest tools or the brightest ones or the biggest IQs, but together, if each of we is 1% in our IQ, and you put us all together, yeah, you have 50 or 100% right there, and we can solve the problem, my Lord and Empress.
To the chair.
Majesty.
What I was saying, right? Understand what you say and what Priest Savannah say is so accurate. But what I'm saying now, what Priest Allegan was saying, that if we wasn't ready for transition, So as Dada taught us everything, he taught us how to accept futuristic things that happen that we doubt, that we think will never happen. And that happens to be one of them. Because scientists have been trying to study laws of nature and the behavior in this place in the world for thousands of years. The scientists is realizing the more advanced in their research, the more confusion they find in the world to be. While the scientist has undoubtedly brought progress to the lives, there are boundaries which they cannot penetrate. For example, for instance, the scientific tools cannot measure the human soul or the basic motivation of our action. It could be we will be able to program people to behave as we wish if the tools could have measured the ability of a man's emotion and action. Because we cannot perceive our most essential motivations, we humans, the apex of creation, are still unaware of why we come into this world. The apex meaning the top of everything is the apex. So man has always been searching for answers to lift most basic questions. But what I'm saying, the children today want questions, so we must be able to explain to them how the transition went, how we accepted. Things that we accepted that time, we have seen it different today. So we have to continue writing the book to unfold the visions, what King Emmanuel left with us, because he's not absent, he is present with us. And we have sufficient answers that came from him. So we might see a temporary time of him. But the Eastern teachings, some people study that. Some people study meditation and different techniques to minimize the personal expectation and reduction of suffering caused by disillusionment. So we must get together and don't jump over things, but break it down, like the purpose, what Father Abraham King Emmanuel did for us. And he is not dead. He has transited. But we understand when the human body function is given up, they call it death. But he is in us, living with us, through us. So we must be able to accept the things that we didn't accept long ago, that death is a natural thing. It can happen any time. Why Emperor Selassie planned, he had a place for his sepulchre and everything before he died. Because we have to plan and stop be scared of planning, my Lord and Empress.
My Lord, bless them.
Is the nature of God at once.
Yeah, go ahead, please.
Is the nature of God a duality?
So when we say the nature of God, what are we speaking about?
And if that's posed to me, I will jump into the chair.
Yes, my
The
lord.
characteristics, the persona, the attitude, what makes the person, the uniqueness of the person, the nature of Priest Symes, the nature of Rastabana, the nature of Empress such and such, your characteristics, your character. See, so we are saying now, is the character of God, is the nature of God, the essence. Then let's even get even deeper than the nature then. The essence
Yes,
of
sir.
God. Yes. Is it a duality or what is it? Define it, family. Is it a duality?
Blessed love, royal family.
Blessed love, Honorable Empress Akim.
Let me first give thanks to the Most High. This has been a very beautiful weekend for I. Sabbath was beautiful. I'm out of school now, so I give thanks. I needed a little break, but we had graduation, and that is always a very special time. I would like to say this is impressive to I in recognizing the power of Rastafari. I've shared several times when I've spoken that I often play
you know, some very solid roots in reggae in my classroom. And I've noticed through this year, that it really does have an impact on our youth. Very, very powerful, you know. I've had several young men on the last day of school talk to me about Rastafari and ask me about the covering of the head. And these were Hispanic boys from Mexico and Honduras. And so I just wanted to lift that up, that the power of our music, the power and the vibration of Rastafari is very solid. And I just want to give honor to, you know, this vibration being imparted upon me, you know. And so I just wanted to just share that. I would like to give thanks to the men, you know, the elders, those of you who have sons, you know, or have even fathered sons that are not yours, you know. When we talk about duality, um, the power of the man, the power of the Black man, you know, is a beautiful thing. You know, whether, you know, we have brothers who are vibrating on the lower vibration, you know, don't have knowledge of self, I still see beauty in them. You know, I see divinity in them, you know, as well as those who are trotting this journey and able to stand strong and know, you know, who you are, and things of that nature. I just want to lift the men up, you know, and just give, you know, thanks unto you. In the thinking about the duality and the nature of God and duality, I would say that, you know, the balance between the masculine and feminine, I think since I would say this awakening, can't put a date on it, but this new awakening of how we, you know, understand ourselves. Um, I think that what I've noticed most now is that our men are coming into this place of comfort to be able to embrace the feminine of themselves, you know. And it's a beautiful thing when you think about that energy. It is like you're palatable, you're able to be moved by emotions, you know, you're not bombarded and oppressed to just live in this hard and masculine way of what many of, you know, the religions have taught us, that men are supposed to be this way and this way, and, you know, things that can be very toxic when you are always operating in a certain mind state. And so the feminine aspect of this duality, it is very necessary for our men, right? But the duality, even for the women, you know, and operating in our masculine, you know, that balance there is a very divine thing. You know, we can stand strong and stand next to our men in a way that will be seen as masculine, but we're very palatable as well and very soft. And, you know, this is the energy of the divine when we think about Christ. You know, religion tells us that, you know, Jesus or Yeshua, you know, however you want to, you know, call the name of Christ, came without a woman. It doesn't make sense, right? This is what religion has done to us. And, you know, from the beginning of time, we know that that is impossible. A child does not come to earth, you know, without a woman, you know. And so going back to this, I've shared this before too, coming into Rastafari, I knew that Rastafari was very solid because it was the only lifestyle that I've seen a Black man reverence God in a very powerful way. And I knew as a child, 8 years old, that this is something. And I always hungered for wanting to know more and know more about Rastafari because it lifted the men up. You know, men were very, you know, positive about their themselves. They knew themselves as Africans. This is what I saw in videos. And so again, that duality, thinking about Rastafari and the femininity and, you know, Christ head and God head, you know, we do this thing alone. If it wasn't for the seed of the man that is planted in woman, life would not exist. You know, and so with that,
So
that is the
your
power
answer.
of the Most High.
So I sorry
Excuse
to
me.
interrupt you, Empress. Sorry to
Mm-hmm.
interrupt you. I wanted to zone in on your answer then because you have explained it. So I want the listeners to hear your direct answer. Is the nature of God a duality?
Most definitely. Most
Okay.
definitely. This is
But,
my opinion, but we've been
but
taught that there's not duality there, but life
go ahead.
itself, which we can't be blind to, life itself doesn't show that. It's like, how can men do this alone? There's even philosophies that women can give life without a man. When have we seen that? Me and my son reason about that often. Just it seems as if we're being put in a place to battle the masculine and feminine, which destroys us individually because we're both our mother and our father. We're both, in order to come into this existence, we have to have the masculine and the feminine. And that itself is God. And then we're given the ability to create. Scriptures even says that we are gods, ye are gods. And so, yes, I would say there's a duality. But I uplift the man because he carries the seed. He carries the life, and then it's planted into the earth, the woman, who then gives forth life. So we're one and the same.
Let's
Give
look,
thanks.
Empress Hakim.
Yes.
Just wanted to
Good
address
share.
you. There was a little error. You said they teach that Christ never come through woman. No, they teach of an immaculate conception without man. They never taught that Christ never come through a woman. They teach immaculate conception that Christ
Yes.
was
Thank you
born.
for clarity. Yes. 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 Yes.
I'm
Yes.
just
Yes.
clarifying
That was misspoken.
all right,
That
so
was
blessed.
misspoken.
That's all, nothing else. No problem.
Yes,
Blessed.
Elder. Thank you. Blessed love. That's
Royal
all.
here. Royal here. Honorable chair. Unmute your mic.
Me I talk and I realize, yes, my lord.
Yes, yes. I was
So,
just giving you back the floor.
yes. Oh, so, well, the floor is, we continue. You want to read this, please?
Um, okay. In the realm of God, gender specific or neutral? Is gender, it's supposed to, is the realm of God gender specific or neutral? Is the cosmos based on male domination or gender equality? Is gender relevant in the discussion on the creator? So it comes back, it's giving you the same question in many ways to provoke thought, though. Is the nature of God dual? Now, family, can I address the floor, honorable chair?
Honorable priest, go ahead, my lord.
Yes. All right.
Go ahead, my
The
lord.
question that first question where it says the Christ is the head of man and man the head of woman. Now, remember, now we are using translations of scripture. We are not using the original version of the African theology, which comes from the coffin text and the pyramid text and the Dead Sea Scroll or the coming forth by day and by night, and it comes from the laws of Manhattan. Our scriptures have a source. See, we are using now the versions and revised versions of revised versions till we reach where we reach now at King James, and it's all gone past that now. Because you have the New American and you have all kind of revised versions.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm saying all that to say that's a statement that has been used to subdue the royal queens throughout the religious realm. It's one of because why I say this now, family. Sorry to take up a moment, but this comes from a factual space. I was listening the other day, the radio at my gates here. Sometimes my family have it on the religious station, and I don't bother. I listen because I love to know what's going on in the world. And I hear this. They had on a church, a specific church was having a ceremony, and the preacher was preaching, and he was quoting the same quote, and he was expounding on it. And the more he spoke, is the more it sounded so draconian. The way he made the woman sound, the woman like she can't make a move without her husband said this, and the woman has to get from the husband and the. I know from just listening to it, that's religion. That's the essence of religion. It takes away the empowerment of the black woman, not no other woman doing it, the African woman, because they don't want the African community to be strong because the community builds the nation. So them destroy the home by reducing the woman to a lesser standard. And a lot of these scriptures were interpreted in that way and and fed into our psyche. So we have this attitude to think of the woman of as a lesser entity. Wherein if we understood how to measure character, how to measure the real depth of a human, think about this family. In past times, and maybe right now in recent times in certain places in Africa and the diaspora, you have a woman pregnant, and she's pregnant, and she has another child already on her back while pregnant, and she is plowing her vegetable garden, or she is washing a pan of clothes, or she's cooking a big pot for the rest of the family. While, what I say, pregnant with another child strapped to her back. She's going for water and carrying a load of wood. And still we say that she's the weaker entity and she's less and she's in the middle of a crisis when we are ready to rush each other and to display testosterone and confront with each other. It is the empress them that say, no, I find a better way. This is the you listen to how they speak of Tai Tu at the tribute the other day of the royal empresses. You hear what them tell you about Tai Tu, Empress Tai Tu. Pardon me. Empress Tai Tu is the one that led her own battalion of 3,000. See, and she led them. She's the one that determines that the battle should be fought at Ottawa because she know that they had a better chance of winning in that kind of environment. She's the one that came up with the idea to starve out one of the garrison them. Don't let them get no water. And eventually they gave up without a bullet fire. What am I saying? The Empress was a great strategist. She has the same mind as any other guerrilla strategist, maybe even more brilliant in that field. So, is the nature of God a duality or is it a masculine entity? Blessed love.
My Lord.
My Lord,
Two things I would want to put in there. This might not on the same subject, but it's a thing what come to my mind first night me talking. If you ever do history, the Battle of Stalingrad, which part the Russians lead General Pauly, who was running Hitler squad, and lead them on, draw back, until the winter come and catch them in one big open field. And Russia has some crucial winter. They say the man then start to eat all their hearts. Then they will get red. And I say, wait, the Battle of Adwa was in 18 something. Why talking about now is 1941 or 44 something. So they actually followed the strategy of Empress Tai, my lord. Just a little brief historian, they can look it up, my lord, and see if what makes sense. Yeah, that's it. And as you're saying, some thought-provoking things we're dealing with here too. Because it have a part where they say the woman is the weaker frame of Christ. Then it have another part where they say, out of 1,000 have I found one man. But out of I have found one woman out of all.
No.
They out of 1,000. Where's the praise?
Go ahead.
Mhm. No, man, no, I was only mimicking the eye, my lord. I know exactly what you're
There.
my lord.
Yeah. Out of 1,000 have I found one man, but I have not found no man out of all. So they did try to put this stigma on a woman. And I done bust that barrier 'cause what you show me. It's a man and woman kingdom. You know, it's a duality yet one. It's not a fight
That
against. It's a
and to
blend.
compliment, yeah, and to complement what you're saying, my lord, King Emmanuel himself, not just the emperor in being crowned the empress on the same day, but Dada himself,
Saying,
man,
yes,
mandate that in every way. Him not stop drive that into I and I. That is a man and woman kingdom. Is a prince and princess shall
yes,
come out. You understand?
yes,
He
yes, I.
went as far as to say the woman's league, to dramatize it even more, to say the woman must be put up front, must
That's right.
have a part, have a say in everything, to show you the equality of the the energy.
Yes,
See, but within the reality now, see, this is where the sage's wisdom comes in, wherein, and precisely you have said it earlier, we are equal, but we have separate roles.
yes.
The separate roles is where we have to look at, because we use that now in we weaponize those things against one another, which is where we have to bring that clarity. The separate roles. The role of the empress is, I don't even know how to state it. It is
Hey,
vital. It is vital to the
my
continuity.
lad, I look into it, priest. If you want to see a confident man walking out in front door in the morning, going to do what he have to do, a man who feeling nice and singing, that man and him woman in a nice vibe when he left the house. If that man and the woman in a kind of entanglement or some kind of issue, you see when they come outside, you could see the countenance. So when a man and a woman is in union, a man can go through anything. He can face any blood fire monster out there, so Rastafari. Because him know say when him Omega, not natural, irie. When he come with irie, he face any battle. So the woman carry her, I always show woman that they carry the strength of the atmosphere of the house. I mean to say, you see some man when they get off work, they want to hang out, they want to go a bar, Riante, Lara, because they don't want to go home, they want to go home late. But you see a next man who knows same Omega and him, Chris, when him done work, he right for go home. And I say, oh, I go to the bar. Yeah. So the woman carry her power. You know, God mustn't be
Look at the screen, my
underestimated.
lad. Look at the screen, family. Look at the screen, family. Yeah, look at the screen. That's the
Rastafari.
ultimate.
Yes.
See, it's six children the emperor had with the empress. And I must always remember that. See, six children the emperor had with the empress. A family man in every sense of the word. See, in every sense of the word. While representing a nation and a world of people. See, so yes, my lord. Great is our
Remember
God. Great.
Farai had an award, a purse that said on it to say, any man and woman who married for over 25 years and never stray, they get a reward. You know about that one there too, right, Prince?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, to show
Remember,
you how strength
remember
and
now,
fidelity. Eh?
remember, remember now, in Ethiopian tradition back in the day, in the church, especially the Taoida church, divorce was non-existent. What do I mean? They did not have a provision for divorce. That was not written into their law. There was no divorce acceptable or endorsed. See? So you must see how reverent they were when it comes to the joining of the ones, the union of the male and the female energy in that ancient tradition.
My Lord. Yes, I. So, floor is open, my Lord and Empress. You
Yes, to
know,
the my Lord.
Honorable Priest Adigan, my Lord.
Well, you see, let me go back to what them call the Genesis, which is a beginning, not the beginning, because we know our beginning was before even that book did write. So I would say a beginning from the Bible. Now, I always said these people have a way of misconstruing the truth, because them put man, man, man. Where I say, if I was to write that book over, I would have said, let us create humans in our image and likeness, right? Because it's us. So I see the duality from creation between man and woman. I see that as the God and the God is talking, let us create man, but them never said man and woman. Them said that in the last, male and female created he him. But I am saying, let us create humankind in our image and likeness, so that a father and mother from creation to I. So the duality in there, but when them plagiarize our history and rewrite and make all heap of Bibles from them Greek perspective and them Latin perspective, the woman was put out of the picture. But the Genesis has it there clearly, let us make man and woman in our image and likeness. Let us. So for me, yes, there's a duality from the creation and before the creation. We have been one. And them come with them immaculate conception, dividing man from the woman like a woman could. And look, from that time, no more immaculate conception never happened. Right? No more, because John the Baptist's creation was immaculate as well, according to them Bible. Remember, Elizabeth did all and so forth. So them create the immaculate conception and demonize the woman out of the picture, demonize the man in a sense, because them I say, and a man and woman. So for me, the very Genesis, what we read, shows there was a duality from then, and African retention and culture are show with that. And as you know, the father used to write letters to people who write to him and he answer it. And there was one where King Emmanuel answer I after dictating to ones, and the answer was given forward to I says, even woman is the head of man, knowing that we all have a mother. King Emmanuel Charles Edwards articulate that to I through letter already years ago, and it stick with I from him said that even the woman is the head of the man, considering we all have a mother. So I don't know how one look at that, but King Emmanuel conveyed that to us. So it all goes back to the Genesis, man. Let us create man and woman in our image and likeness. So, you know,
My
just to
Lord.
simple clearance, my Lord. And I say it
My
again,
Lord.
what King Emmanuel said, just short brief, I will say it again and listen good. Even the woman is the head of I and I man, considering we all have a mother.
My
My Lord.
Lord. Give thanks for clearance. My Lord. Floor is open, my Lord.
Empress Diana, hand is up, my Lord.
Honorable Empress Diana, Majesty bless.
Far from you can't life, you know, love one out that just the one and all. You're true. You have
We're
to
not
be a
hearing you too clear, Honorable Empress. We're not hearing you too clear.
me know?
Yes, loud and clear.
Yeah, blessed love our family. Give thanks for life. You know, blessed like you are. Give thanks for our health and strength. Give thanks for man and woman kingdom, you know. Yes, I believe there's a balance, man and woman balance. None higher, none lower. Both is needed. You know? The one is weak, the other one is strong. And when the one is strong, the other one is weak. So we need both to bring forth, you know, the unity of man and woman. The world try to make it that man is useless or woman is useless. They try to put on cause that woman only can do that. Them can leave back their man. But I'm so go with that. I'm not going to cause there's no balance. I believe in the balance of man and woman. And then everything come forward after that. So yeah,
It's
King of
natural.
the Queen, yeah, King of the Queen, King of and Queen of Mega Kingdom. Both is needed. Both is very important. Both have a job to do.
Rastafari.
Yeah, both have a job to do. Yeah, side by side, we will have a kingdom between we.
Majesty
Yes, we will
bless.
have an emperor. Give thanks.
Give thanks, Honorable Empress Diana. Give thanks to hear your
Balance.
voice.
Yeah, man,
Give thanks
balance.
to my land.
Balance.
You have
Balance.
a very unique voice, Empress. Me can
Yeah.
listen to, yeah, me never see you, but me can, me have to just close my eyes and say, yeah, man, Empress Diana. Blessed love.
Give thanks to my Lord. Love.
Rastafari, yeah. Yes, Honorable Priest Rastafari. What you were saying?
No, I am here listening to the Empress, yeah, giving our soul balance, balance. Yes, Empress.
Yeah.
Right.
And during slavery, infidelity was encouraged. They really mess with our sidekick. This is why you see how nobody thing that one of the results of it, you see it like the last 20 years, they hear thing like baby father and baby mother. Them words wasn't in existence when I was small. Hey, I didn't mother your child, but I don't know baby father and baby mother thing. So it was encouraged for I and I to be promiscuous amongst ourselves doing that's all them things they kind of mesh up in my DNA. But give thanks and give praises, Cause you could fool some people sometimes, but you can't fool all the people all the time in this judgment. My Lord.
Through the chair. You see when you take it now, yeah. Like how you open up the door. Since you open the door, I have to go walk through, Yeah. Yeah. But you say it very nice and polite, and you gave it a nice good definition. What they did to us was, yeah, inhumane family. Now, in Jamaica here and several of the islands, they had a category. They had different farms. Like out here, my family name is Smith. I come from one of them Smith farm, whether it was Finger Smith, Goldsmith, Blacksmith, some farmer. Yeah, well, yeah, they had a category called the seasoning farm. Yeah, once you look it up, the seasoning farm, where they took the Mandingo Africans, the pure blue black, strong buck sambo, according to them type African, and they created these farms where they were breeders. So each night is a different woman because they were breed just like remember we were not no longer human, we were 3/5 of a human, and they treated us as 3/5 of a human. So we were bucks breeding female humans or female subcategory humans for stock so they could have a replenishment for their slave labor. See, so it's a system that was used against us. So you must know how much when we say we are suffering from post-traumatic slavery disorder, it's many things that has been done to us. Now, some of the strongest and most um, stern Africans, to break them, they took them into the squares of certain townships and they tied them up in the square. And at night, they made one sodomize them. Those are stories in our history, in our eye story to be told. See, in reality, that's how they broke. Because remember now, in research, our historians like John Henry Clark, J.A. Rogers, others did their research and said that as far back as they can go within the African narrative, homosexuality never existed within our culture. It's not like the culture of Greece and others, wherein it is depicted in their historical records and in their artwork and all of those things. When you look on the pyramid wall and when you look at the hieroglyphs and all of that, there was none of those imagery ever found nowhere in our culture. See? So that was a demoralizing act done to some of the strongest black men that they took on board of those cargo ships. Seeing? So yes, honorable priest, they did a job on us, and we are suffering those after effects right now.
I give thanks to our Father, you know, the man who come to clean up everything. And see, that's why we come with the broom, you know, sweep the place clean, you know, pick up all the little pieces, put them in the garbage can.
Rastafari.
Throw that away. Rastafari. You know? Yeah,
And
man.
that's why
All is not Lord.
that's what the salvation is for. That's why the man says a purging.
Rastafari.
The man says a purging
Yes, right.
ground. The man say, you come this now, and what him help you to do is to bring all things back to remembrance.
Remembrance.
Yes, all of that
Yeah.
purity. The purity before it was tainted.
Yeah.
See,
So
bring
we
it
have
back
to go
to why
past
and
the
I.
tint. Go past the tint. Yeah, and get to the source. Yeah, see that purity, that divine liberty in flesh, not no dead in the and go in the sky. You know, that liberty in flesh. Yeah, my Lord and Empress. So the floor is
And that's where
open,
the
my
balance
Lord.
comes. That's where the balance come in, family, where there is no hierarchy,
Rastafari.
caste system. There is no better than. That is where you see God in its essence, because we
Natural.
acknowledge that all life source, everyone that liveth, every animal that breatheth, every tree that lives and bears
My
and
Lord.
is the essence of the Almighty Creator.
Mighty God. Yes, Jah.
So there is no hierarchy. There is no in the natural world, the spiritual world, which is the natural world of the Almighty. There is no competition. That word don't even
No.
exist.
No.
You understand? There is only complementing. We complement one another. That means that we enhance one another. You know, like in nature, cross pollination. Without cross pollination, you wouldn't have the variety of species of plant life and trees and seeing the perfection of nature in it. So if I even just look at in the natural teaching, it shows you that oneness because
Yeah.
it all work together, you know. It's a
My
symbiotic
Lord.
action to create that oneness, you know. Yeah, give thanks.
This is why His Majesty shows us that religion fails, but spirituality is the network that connects us first to the Creator, then to the universe, and also to each other. So
Most
it's one
important,
network moving. You know?
most important,
Yes, man.
yes, most importantly to each other.
Yes,
Yeah.
Rastafari. So the floor is open, my Lord and Empress. All
To the
thoughts
chair,
and meditation. Honorable priest, as what, my Lord.
to the chair, I just want to say this, that duality exists.
Go ahead, priest.
You hear me?
Go ahead, priest. We hear you loud and clear.
Duality exists. All right, because God, man and woman get together and make us, and that is how it's happening from this time, from them time. And whoever understand or believe in reincarnation, we have been reincarnated so much million times probably. But sometimes we probably was a man and we come back as a woman. Because within the reincarnation, we have to look at these things. Let's listen to me for a second, right? So
Go ahead, priest.
duality is necessary because we cannot make a child without a woman. And a woman can't make a child without a man. All the immaculate, what they want to talk about. The reality is, look at the Trinity, for instance, that shows that it's an integration and refers to the Father, the Son, and the Holy One, but it's yet still one. And that did open our eyes to the Trinity. That's why we are people who are of the Holy Trinity, the Divine Trinity, the Father, the Mother, and the Child. And that is a divine principle to first identify there is duality going on. My Lord and Empress.
My Lord. Hey, see how Babylon here then. I see a capitan, CAPTION, caption, where is a kind of mature woman, we say she about the 40s. She daughter, who is she 20s, and she little son, the daughter son, which is the human grandchild, in we say like 10, 11, before he hit 13. He had the capital over the older woman. I don't want no man. He had the capital over the daughter. I don't need no man. He had the capital over the little boy. I don't want to be a man. It sounds funny, but I some dread. That's serious thing, you know. Yeah, my
Some
lad.
mind games, them there, you know, my lad. Some terrible mind
Yeah.
games.
Yes. You know. So we give thanks that Jah gave us eyes to see, my lad and Empress. You know, these are things what we bring into remembrance, and these kind of ways and understanding will give young people hope, will give them a vision to realize it's all in their hands. You know what I mean? You can be what you want to be, you know, because you are not just you. You are because I am Ubuntu. You know, if any of us did a research, you know how much thousands of ancestors rise and fall for you and me and all of us on this platform here to be speaking to one another. You know, it's thousands. It starts off with a mother and a father, grandmother and a grandfather on both sides. And it continues, and it continues. And if you ever do a research, there's over 40,000 people trod earth that we could be here now. So how we could be here forever? Are we defying the very laws of nature? We stand on the shoulder of our ancestors. Are we not going to give our children a chance to be the elders? Are we going to be always there? So all these little logical points we see, and you know, to show the youth them here, life is a phase, it's a cycle. Every phase comes with a strength. Utilize every phase to the fullness. You know what I mean? None of us start family when we were teens, when we were children, when we were not supposed to be learning about life and educating ourselves in the 20s and things. So then you have children now, is an educated father and mother. And not, boy, hey, sure. All of a sudden, you're depend hustle. That word, hustler, we don't know hustlers. We are entrepreneurs. So we're changing up the whole narrative. So the way how we look at ourselves. We're not listening to the story from the hunter. We listen to the hunted. Mosai, Selassie, Jah, Rasta.
Yeah,
My lord.
Rastafari.
The chair.
Yes, honorable priest.
Yes. Well, Iman was born Paul Noel Anthony, but I changed my name from 87 to Asukli Adigan Adolfo. I've been visiting my mom a lot because she's ailing, you know, and she really depends on Iman. My mother, caretaker, me not. And she give me a history of Iman. And I'm picking up on when Empress Akim, blessed love, my honorable sister, said our man is in tune with the feminine side. Now my mom was relating or reasoning to I that, as my name was Paul, my brother, Daniel, or Desmond, as they call him, used to call I Pauline because I was very particular how I clean up the area. So if I'm in the bathroom, I clean it up a certain way. Up a certain way, and if I'm in my bedroom a certain way, and like if I was in the bathroom cleaning up, my brother would be knocking on the door. Hey, Pauline, when are you going to Pauline? So my mom was relating to me now because of that. My brother was seeing the feminine nature in I. That's why he was referring to I, being sarcastic, having a play on my name Paul and calling me Pauline, which is the woman version of Paul. So Joffy, highlight what Empress Akim was saying about man being in tune with their feminine nature. That was something that was instilled in me, which I learned from my mother from a young age, that my mother looks at me, born the 1st of January, like my grandma Blanche, born 1912, 1st of January, right? My mom look at me and say, her son, reminds her of her mother. I'm a male, you know. Yet my mom said, I do things like my grandma. You understand? So I man give
Same.
thanks to feminine energy that was instilled in I from my mother, and my mom instilled it in her, though she's feminine, but she put it onto I, even though I'm the masculine. But I always give thanks to be in tune with that feminine nature of I man and the nurturing side of that. So I man give thanks for the feminine nature if I want to use that, and the woman, because without them I wouldn't be here. So give thanks for that,
My
my Lord.
Lord. Blessed love, Honorable Priest God. Yes, my Lord. Your Majesty. So, my Lord and Empress, I think we look like we coming to our close.
Yes,
For,
sir.
we glorify and give thanks for all inputs of each and everyone. And, and we also, if ones and ones have certain ideas that they would like for me to reason about, always free to put it up on the page, and we will look into it, 'cause it's not a one-man show, it's not a Bucky Master thing, As my favorite saying, what God tell you, him not tell me, and what him tell me, him not tell you. But you can tell me what him tell you, and I can tell you what him tell me, and we are going to hear him talking loud and clear. Most High, Selassie, Jah, Rastafari,
Yeah.
my Lord and Empress.
Right,
Anyone have any
royalty.
final say so? Honorable
Yeah,
Priest, go ahead.
my lord. Yeah, immaculate conception means that the two people were spiritual beings. And a virgin could be a woman that never been with a man, or what you call a chastity virgin. So when they are saying immaculate conception, it was a spiritual conception, a godly conception.
Rastafari.
So
Well,
it's not
give
like
thanks. Yeah, give thanks, Priest, for that word. And as we go, it just run to my head. I don't know if any priest here is a well-read man. You ever read a book by an author named Harry Percival, Thinking and Destiny? It's the only thing where I read where a man actually talk about immortality. But we ain't gonna go into that. But he said something, and listen to this. He said, if a man and a woman sit up with one another for 1 year without releasing any energy, so the man ain't getting no wet dreams or nothing like that. And after 1 year, he go into that woman reverence. He said, bringing out a God in flesh, a genius. He said, a lot of people, a lot of us are born sperm that is only minutes old. A lot of the sperm are mature. He said, if a man and a woman sit back and hold themselves for 1 year and then go in, not as no bedroom bully or no bedroom killer, but go in with a reference unto the Omega, that union gonna bring forth a genius. It just run to my head. My Lord and Empress. Me always have some kind of little story. Say,
yeah, and that royalty.
my Lord.
They said NASA went out to look for geniuses, right? And they checked the children them. And all the children them was genius until they reached the school system.
Then.
So with gods, we ban geniuses, we ban gods. But then the system, the Rockefeller them set up a system that they want workers. They don't want thinking people. Because if you look right now, we got a bunch of little youths, Nigerians, 3 years old, 5 years old, and this genius, they're in college and things. So the genius is when you're born, but when you get indoctrinated into the system. Because as Pastor used to say, well, how could a child be born with sin? Like, how they teach us that everybody born with sin. You see? But then the Bible tell you we were born and we were born and shaped in iniquity. So it's a system, my Lord and Emperor.
Well, most natural. Blessed love. Most natural, my Lord. Give thanks for your keen observation, Honorable Priest, my Lord. Rastafari. And any other say that word before we close off? Honorable Priest Snappy, my Lord. Are you there?
Yes, my lord, I'm right here, Majesty. No, my lord,
My
everyone
lord,
has said it well. You know,
yeah.
everything well said, my lord. So give thanks, you know.
Could you give
I'm
us a
here.
closing? Could you give us a closing prayer, my lord,
I
as we're
want to tell you,
about to come down?
check a man like Chris Radigan. So the position where I'm
Okay.
in right now, you know, I wouldn't be able to conduct in that for Salimada, you know?
Honorable Priest Adigan, by special request and popular demand, could you bring down this reason today with a word of prayer, my lord?
Yes, my Lord. My Lord and Empress, do give thanks for this day. Do give thanks for the giving of thanks and all things said and done. Virtual reverence going out universally to earth, sky, and sea. Holy Emmanuel I, Selassie I, Jah.
Selassie, Rastafari.
Glory be to our Father, and to the Son, and to the Holy One of creation. As Jah was in the beginning, is now, and never shall be, Jah world without end. King Selassie I, Jah.
Jah, Rastafari.
Yo, oh good and oh pleasant it is for brethren and sisters to dwell together in peace, unity, and love. It is like the precious ointment upon the head that ran down the beard, even Aaron's beard that went down to the skirts of his garments. As the dew of Hermon, as the dew that I sent upon the mountains of Zion. For there the Lord God Rastafari, Marcus I, Holy Emmanuel, like Emperor Haile Selassie and Empress Meninai, commanded the blessing, even life and love forevermore. So we hail our God Selassie, Jehovah God Rastafari. Our Almighty God Rastafari, great and terrible God Rastafari is the Almighty God. Jah who seated in Zion and reigneth in the hearts of our flesh. O thou most eternal Father, Jehovah God Rastafari. Hear us and bless us, O Lord, keep us and sanctify us, Lord. Cause thine holy face to shine upon us, thy children, that we shall be saved and redeemed. O thou most high God, Jah Rastafari.
Rastafari.
Standing by a purpose, true heeding God's command. Honor all the faithful few while here to Daniel's banner. Dare to be a Daniel, dare to stand alone. Dare to have a purpose firm and dare to make it known in black Ethiopia. Ethiopia, Mount Zion, King Selassie, Jah Rastafari.
Jah, Rastafari.
Ethiopia Empress Meninai, Selassie, Jah.
Selassie, Jah, Rastafari.
Great royal family, I, Selassie,
And I, Selassie, Jah, Rastafari.
The world peace, perfect peace, my Lord and Empress.
My
God
Lord.
is all love, my Lord and Empress, Prince and Princess, God and Goddess, blessed.
Majesty blessed, honorable priest, my Lord, royal
Yes,
historian.
that was beautiful. Give thanks.
Royal love to the royal
Rastafari.
congregation. One aim, one God, one destiny. Heart of love to all.
Honorable priest Brown, Rastafari, my Lord, Majesty. Yes, I. A pleasant good day and a happy Father's Day again to one and
Yes,
all.
blessed love,
Majesty,
Elder.
happy Father's Day, my
Yes,
Lord and
happy
Empress.
Father's Day. Blessed love.
Rastafari.
Happy Father's
Blessed,
Day.
blessed, blessed.
Yes, sir.
Hey.
Love, my
Welcome,
Lord.
Abba Ken. Welcome, Abba Ken. Welcome, Abba Ken. No, Ken is.
Welcome, Abake.
Welcome, Abba Ken. Abba his father, yeah? So Malcolm is
Abba.
up. Welcome, Abba Ken.
Ken.
Welcome, Abba
All
Ken.
right.
I love it.
Welcome,
Yeah.
Abba Ken.
Melba
Welcome,
Abba
Abba
Ken, my
Ken.
Lord. My
Welcome,
Lord.
like we say, welcome, like happy. Welcome,
Yeah.
Abba. Welcome, Abba Ken.
Yes, my Lord.
Welcome, Abba Ken.
Abba Ken. Yeah. Give thanks.
I love
My
it.
Lord.
Blessed
Rastafari.
love, royal
Majesty blessed.
family.
Yes, I. Honorable priest Rastafari. Blessed, my Lord.
Powers to the royal family, my Lord and Empress.
My Lord. Royal Empress Trisha. Empress Dion. Sister Maisie. She did it still?
Miss hearing your voice, Empress Trisha,
Yeah,
today.
Sister Maisie.
Blessed love, my Lord and Empress.
Blessed love.
Here with us.
I know.
Lots of love.
I know. Give thanks. They did a wonderful. They do a
Blessed
mighty
love,
works,
Empress
Empress.
Dion. Love,
Yeah, you
love.
keep the thing going. Yeah, man. Enough respect. Yeah.
Blessed love, Empress
Yeah.
Rachel.
Blessed love, Empress Ashley, and blessed
Rastafari.
love.
Yes.
Empress Rachel, heart of love,
Love-wise, you have to send out
majesty.
sentinels. Give thanks for the
Blessed love.
Empress
Let,
and all powers. Listen.
yeah, man. Them do a good piece of work, man. Yes, I. Rastafari. Empress Macy gone.
Give thanks.
Yeah. Yeah.
Give thanks. Give thanks to his blessed name, Rachel, you know. Roslyn James.
Yeah,
Roslyn James.
man.
Name, you know. Rachel. My Lord.
Rastafari. Honorable Jadigan, blessed love, my Lord.
Powers.
Yeah.
My Lord.
Blessed love to all the empresses.
Blessed
Love, love, love.
For all our fathers, you all have a wonderful day.
Yes, please do. Please do.
Yes, yes.
Know
yes.
that you are loved for
Continue.
real and respected. Blessed, blessed, blessed.
Blessed love. Majesties.